Good morning, YouTube. It is kind of early in the morning, a little cooler out. We're on our way downtown Chicago. We're going to be kind of close to what we call the Loop. Check out a company called Creative Erectors. They specialize in setting precast. We're going to see what the bricklayers do while they're setting precast. Stick around. We're heading downtown. We're going to get it all checked out. So we're downtown now. We're gonna go find my buddy Joe, who's the foreman for the Creative Erectors. He's a bricklayer. We're gonna see if we can't get him to get us some information. Daddy-o! Daddy-o! What's happening? How are you, brother? This is my buddy Joe. Joe's the foreman for Creative Erectors. He's the one that basically runs the crew down here and makes sure the job goes according to plan and to schedule and does it safely. Got a little bit of a crane job going on here. So Joe's going to explain what is it that we're doing here today.
Today I'm going to be skinning a 20-story mid-rise with precast. As you can see, the structure's already topped out. That's all concrete, rebar, and post-tension cabling. And then we go around and skin it in precast concrete, which is basically just a brick veneer that covers up the concrete, makes it look pretty.
Explain to me what precast is.
Precast is just formed concrete with this is actually architectural precast. There's no structural values to it. It's brick veneered to give the building brick look.
Okay, so this is just really skinny brick facing, and it's attached to this concrete backing that basically makes the...
These are made off-site and trucked in from a factory. Goes a lot faster as opposed to traditional bricklaying.
Okay.
And a lot more efficient. And they can get the owners moved into their building faster.
How long have you been doing this, Joe?
I've been doing this since 07 is when I started.
Did you have any prior experience to any of this?
I had none.
Okay. How did you end up going and getting into this?
I just happened to bump into somebody that did it, and I got lucky enough that hired me on right away.
Somebody was looking to get into this, right? With as dangerous as this is there something that somebody should be doing to take the right steps to try to get into some of this?
Yeah, if you want to get into precast in particular, it's shared by a couple different trades, depending on where you're at. You just go to your local union hall and find some information, find out who does it, how to get into it. But yeah, calling the hall would be my first step.
As a foreman, running this crew, what is it that you're doing on a day-to-day basis?
Basically, I just kind of orchestrate everything on the job site. We have our office and my boss sequences the job and what order to set them in. And then I take that sequence and then I take care of the logistics as far as getting trucks on site. Make sure the right panel gets hooked up at the right time. Make sure the panel gets set in the correct position and welded. And however it fastens to the building.
And there's specialty tools that you would use?
A lot of specialty tools. A lot of specialty rigging more than anything. And when I say rigging, I mean what actually connects our product, our panel, to the crane. As you can see on this one, we have a bunch of variations of different nylon straps, Kevlars, chain falls, rendering balls. We got a pretty good grab bag here.
We're gonna end up going up and seeing some of the other guys and actually seeing what it is that they're gonna do up there. We're going to stay down here for right now, get some information from Joe, see what Joe's been up to down here to make this. What does this panel weigh, Joe?
This panel weighs about 14 grand.
So we're gonna see what it takes to get 14,000 pounds, 10 stories up onto the building to make sure that everything's level, make sure it's done safely, and make sure that the final product is actually really good and looks professional. So we're gonna spend some time with Joe and see what he does, and he's gonna show us some of his specialty equipment as far as how to get this stuff up there, and then we're gonna go up and talk to the boys, and we'll have them kind of explain what they're doing on the top end. What are we doing with the rope here, Joe?
This is a tagline that helps me guide the piece when nobody can have a hand on it way up top. In this case, we got about 200 foot of tagline in order to get it to them up there. Keep cabling up. Pretty much any pick you ever make, you want to have a tagline on it. Cabling up.
Joe keeps saying cable up. You see this little this box up here, the yellow box. He's actually talking to the crane operator. The crane operator has a speaker box up in the crane, so he's giving the crane operator signals to where it gets all the way up, and then the guys also up top, you'll find out, have a box as well, so they can talk directly to the crane operator. So we'll get this up there, and then we're going to take a ride up, and we'll go up in the skip, and then we'll talk to the guys up top. All right, so now that we're up here with all the guys, we got Maya, Joe, Meeker, we got Lalo out on the man lift. Doing else, they got the panel up here, and they're working the piece back in so that it can fit and sit on top of the one that they just set before. All right, so while we're waiting for measurements from Joe, I got Maya here. Maya, how long have you been doing this?
I've been with the Bricklayers for 20 years. I've been setting precast for 25.
And so how did you get started in this?
When I was in high school, my best friend, his dad owned an erector company. We used to go onto the big warehouse job, take down braces that hold up the wall panels. Started making good money doing that, got addicted to that good money, and here I am 25 years later.
If somebody that was to look into wanting to get into this, what advice would you give them?
Well, first of all, I tell them to go to the Bricklayers Union. That's what we're all members on, is the Bricklayers Union. And I would have them get into the apprenticeship program and learn all about the precast side of the industry. That's what we're in, laying brick and everything else. If they could get a good start there, making a good wage, and work their way up to a full journeyman scale, they can make a really good, honest living.
What are we doing now that we've got the piece in place and we're taking measurements and stuff? I'm hearing numbers coming over the radio and stuff. What are we taking measurements on?
Right now we're checking elevations to make sure that everything stays level from floor to floor. We have to have, not on these walls in particular, but on a lot of our walls, we have window openings that have to be within 1/4 of an inch, and so we shoot elevations to make sure that we're within that 1/4 of an inch. But we're also on these panels, we're checking for plumb from side to side, in and out, up and down, all that, and that's where you're hearing these numbers coming from. The way we do that is we use shims on the bottom of these panels. What the shim does is it puts the panel in or out, side to side, whatever we need. Say we need to gain 1/4 of an inch, we throw a shim in one end of the panel, and it'll make it plumb just by adding one shim to one side of the panel, and then we go from there. The shims come in the sizes from a 32nd all the way up to 1/4 of an inch.
All right, so we got a lot of good info on what it takes to set precast and be a bricklayer. We're gonna get out of here. We're gonna let these guys get back to work. Guys, thanks for watching the video. Special thanks to Creative Erectors for letting us work with them today. Make sure you like and comment and subscribe this video and the channel. A lot more content coming your way. Appreciate you watching. We'll see you on the next one.